Okay, welcome back. It's like they say, it never rains, but it pours. Yesterday, another building, it must be said, has collapsed in Lagos. Not that we've had this unfortunate experience in very, very recent memory. You notice I said very twice, just to sort of to say that it's not uncommon, it's not unknown, unfortunately. Well, the latest building to collapse was at Obalende in Lagos, here where we're broadcasting from, southwest of the country. On Odo Street in particular. I understand it was a story building, but we have the CEO and Director General of LASEMA, Dr. Femi Okeosaintolu, with us. You guys, I imagine, have been there from very, very shortly after. How did you get to hear about it?
We were called on our emergency number.
Okay.
And all the key stakeholders moved in there. We have the Federal Fire Services, Lagos Fire Services, Ambulance Services. We have the LAPSCA, the Ministry of Physical Planning, all the relevant key stakeholders that are important in managing emergency.
I can see metal.
And we have the police there too.
Yeah.
We have the military there too.
Is all of that metal reinforcement or is that scaffolding? It's not a completed building. It was a work in progress, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a work in progress, really. Illegal work in progress.
Okay.
It's not a work in progress per se. It was
it was effectively an illegal structure.
It's an illegal. It's not. Yes, it's an illegal activities, illegal structures to us.
How bad was the collapse? I mean, from here, it looked like total. But how bad was it since you've been there?
Because if you look at the casualties and the fatalities, you will realize that it was extremely bad. And it's due to recklessness because it's avoidable. The government has sealed it. The agents of the government has sealed it. The building control agency, the Ministry of Physical Planning, they have sealed the building. Well, so and you will look at the commence activities on Sunday.
Well, you say the commence activity because I was going to come back to government had sealed that place before it happened.
Yes.
Which means
the government sealed it around September.
So government in its wisdom had seen that this was an unsafe structure.
Yes, because it did not fit into the building code. And they have subjected the building to material testing, integrity testing.
Okay. Does government do that on its own, or does it need someone to complain or express an apprehension before that happens?
We have people, apart from people complaining, we have workers of government. We have agency of governments in our local government that they are going about checking the regularity, whether people are keeping to the building code, whether they are obtaining a permit or sort of license before they could construct their distance. So we have
Lagos is supposed to be notorious for regulating and monitoring, and so the question I'm going to ask is that how did this happen if Lagos State government sealed that particular place on Odo Street, and then they commenced work and government was not aware of it?
They commenced work on Sunday.
Oh,
Sunday.
Commence mean began work yesterday.
Yesterday, when the government realized that they were doing activities in there, the agents of the government, the building controlling agency, the physical planning, they move in, they seal it, and they marked it. They marked the date. It was not yesterday that they sealed it. It was not day before. It was in September.
So is the investigation still continuing, or what has the building that was up before? What exactly has happened? Did they take heavy machinery onto it? What brought it down?
You see, because the foundation is poor, because you can see on nakedly, the integrity is not that okay. And that is why the structural engineer from our agency, building controlling agency, sealed the place up because they realized that this building that they are building is already in distress. Maybe they are using poor material to build the building. You get what I'm saying? So they seal it.
Because before a building can get to that extent, even though it's most unfortunate that people lost their lives in there, government would have had to have given certain approvals. It couldn't get up to that level without
and that is why
government approving.
Emergency responders,
or they were just brazen criminals.
Criminals, illegality. And that's
so
why
government probably knows the owner. of that particular structure?
We've commenced investigations immediately. The Honorable Commissioner of Fiscal Planning was there yesterday. The Honorable Commissioner of Special Duties was there yesterday. So we have commenced holistic investigations, and we have already informed the Minister of Justice to look into it holistically. Because it was a sort of avoidable emergency, if not due to recklessness and carelessness on the part of the people.
So right now, preliminary investigations seem to be leaning in the direction of poor technical everything.
No, look at it.
That the building...
They seal the place up. For you to contravene, for you to commence, for you to start doing construction there, after sealing the place up.
You know, this is a problem with developers, I imagine. But let me not just jump in without investigations. But you wonder who would have the, as we say locally, liver to do that kind of thing in such a... It's a very open area. Odo Street in Obalende, it's not a back street anywhere.
At all.
It's not a back street. It's well known, but you see, maybe Lagos is Lagos. People will still be doing that thing. Now, government, first of all, let me get the fatalities. Did you say that there were fatalities?
First of all, let us talk about the casualties. We rescued 20 people.
Okay.
On spot, 10 were discharged. 10 were exhumed from the rubble. You can see what it takes us to exhume 10 people from the rubble. We use sophisticated equipment, heavy duty and light duty equipment, and our Delta to locate and localize people in there, and we are able to exhume them. They are receiving adequate treatment in our hospital. However, we recovered 8 bodies, 6 males and 2 females.
Were they squatting or were they workers?
They were workers.
They were workers.
They were workers. They were workers. You can see the amount of people pulled into that construction so that they could beat the government, which is very, very unfair.
Because, yeah, the idea is that if you go far enough, government won't be able to...
On Sunday.
Yes. If you go far enough, maybe the idea is that government won't have the heart to bring it down.
Who is the government?
No, probably that's the thinking. That, look, if it is far enough, maybe we got to the roof stage, government won't be able to bring it down.
No, it's not like that. Because this government plays more importance on the safety of life and property, and we will do everything.
Okay, Mr. Williams.
Ensure safety of life and property under the administration of Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu.
Williams has called in. Good morning, sir. Did I get that message right? Is Williams on the line? Williams? Mr. Williams, can you hear us?
Yes.
Quickly, go ahead, please. You're on.
Brother Youre.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
I have a feeling to suspect that it will be necessary for you to also listen to the owners of the building, because I'm suspecting foul play in this thing.
How do you mean?
How I mean, they say it does not meet something, it does not meet one. Who tested? Who are those that tested? That says it does not meet something. Because you see, these government agencies, just like the subject we were discussing the other time, in this country there is so much of a discipline, and that is what we should really fight as much as possible. Public agencies think they can oppress people and extort from them. So you should get into the real problems of this thing. Look at the owners of the building. Let them make their own complaints to you.
But Mr. Williams, in your very before, as we say locally, in your very before, the building collapsed. So I don't know what a government agency or a wicked, excessive power, because what would have brought all of the agencies of government to that place was that the building collapsed. Although
I can understand. You see, definitely somebody had broken the rules.
Are you alleging sabotage? No, okay, sorry, but you know, well, I'm happy he hadn't gone and was able to come back with that one-liner that somebody has broken the rules, and this is why there are these codes. It's for safety. It's for integrity of these buildings.
Yeah.
So, as Mr. Williams is saying in there, definitely somebody has broken the rules. But I didn't understand that bit where he was saying that we need to hear from the owners of the building. Of course, government will be hearing from them. First of all, how come you are building when the place has been sealed?
Yeah.
How come you're building? Government will want to know that for sure.
Yeah.
So you were saying that There was no, they weren't squatters.
At all.
It wasn't occupied.
At all.
These were builders, and they were working on Sunday at around 4:30 a.m.
4:30 p.m.
I beg your pardon. 4:30 p.m. when you got your call.
Yes.
Workers on Sunday does seem a bit suspicious.
Definitely.
You know, it shows that somebody is trying to beat some time frame. And, well, but thank God for you and your agency, Lasema. You've gone in the horror. Unfortunately, you said, what, six? You rescued 10?
We rescued 20.
You rescued 20?
10 were treated on spot and discharged. 10 were exhumed from the rubbles and they sustained severe injuries, and they were taken to our hospital where they are receiving adequate treatment. However, we recovered 8 bodies.
Fatalities.
6.
Okay.
6 are male, 2 are females.
Okay. Okay, in Aba. Good morning, sir. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Okay. Quickly, go ahead, please.
Good morning. Is that Mr. Youre?
Present, sir.
Can I come up with my message?
Please, we're waiting for it.
Oh, good. You see, this building collapse is becoming rampant in the nation. Building is falling everywhere, and there are a combination of factors. Developers are always in a hurry to build. They will not follow government regulation. They ought to get permits before they start building, but they don't do that. They want to build, and in the end, they use substandard materials. Those government regulatory agencies are not also helping matters. You submit your plan, it takes a very long time. Before they can get approval, the person would have misused the money he wanted to use for the building. So this is a combination of factors. I think the regulators should sit up, and the developers should also follow process.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Youre. You're doing a good job.
Oh, you're very kind, sir. Thank you very much, okay, for calling in. Well, you see, this is a problem here. What is the attitude of our people? Mr. Okay just said the government can be difficult, the protocols and all of that. Yes, so what? You can't move without all of those protocols being satisfied. So if government is delaying you now, and you know, I first of all mentioned the word developers, but I said, let me withdraw it. Let me withdraw it. Let me be careful here. Well, Mr. Okay has come in there and said that developers and their methodologies and the ways, not all developers are going to be like that. But as Mr. Cage was pointing out, if Lagos State government, like any other government, is going to be meticulous, particular, and as a result of that is slow, how can you go forward? You can't go forward until they finally come across. And I'm not even sure that the government people are going to admit as much as all of that. But it goes back to the mindset of people. If government has not given approval, why will you proceed? Even if another state does it in 2 weeks, and Lagos State, for example, has not done it in 12 weeks, then it's just slower to build in Lagos. That's the way it is. Otherwise, move to that state that does it in 2 weeks.
In fact,
Abe is on the line. Good morning, Abe.
Good morning, Uncle Youre.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I so much love your program, and I'm so happy to put a call across to you this morning.
I'm delighted.
I would like to say that concerning this building collapse going on, most especially in this same area, it's always within this same Lagos and this Obalende, and you have the likes of the UBS.
Are you still there, Abe? 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 I think the line is fluctuating because it's like the other time and suddenly the person spoke up. I don't know if Abe is still there, but she did say something you can probably comment on, that this kind of thing is going on, you know, too frequently for comfort and in that particular area. What can you say about, are all those buildings old? Are there buildings that need to be taken down even before they collapse on their own in the interest of, is Abe back? Okay, continue, Abe.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
Yes. I'm saying that there's definitely a sabotage from the government officials and the builders. And what is always seems to happen most of the time is that there is nobody held responsible. There is no punishment for anyone who doesn't go by the rules. We just come on here like your guest is saying. He will say, oh, you are doing all of this, you are doing all of that. The truth is, your staff that you have right under you, some of them don't follow due process. Some of them are bribed to get the approval of these building plans. And they continue to work behind your back. But so if you can also have a sub-body from your organization that can go probably for checks. You've still done with this in September.
Yeah.
What have you done from that September till now?
Okay.
At least if the building was not supposed to be there, what is supposed to have been done to such a building?
Okay.
You can't just say, oh, you shut the place up and then you expect the Nigerians to just believe, oh, we are not going to work there.
Okay.
Yes, the masses have their own blame because they are stubborn. They want to just keep their work going.
Thank you very much for calling in, Abe.
Yes,
really appreciate your calling in. She made a point there about government, as you said, sealed it up. The appropriate agency of government sealed it up back in September. It's like they saw that something was going to happen if people continue to work here. So they sealed it up. But as Abe is saying, after sealing it up, so what? You then leave it there. They didn't pull it down. Of course, it's not as easy as all of that, I know. But she's making the point that none of these regulatory agencies can really say that they are blameless, Lagos being what it is. And let me just say it. There are people who think that money does a heck of a lot when it comes to scaling all these hurdles of approvals. Over to you, sir.
Well, when you are looking at Lagos, we are moving to smart cities by 21st, 20th century. And when you look at the policy of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, in terms of safety of life and properties. Now, the important thing is this. In as small that we have regulations in place, rules and regulations in place, you get what I'm saying? There are certain things in public domain. We have the emergency number. We have the head of all these agencies' numbers in public domain, like my own number. So what you just need to do, if you notice anything in your environment, you just call us.
No, but I think what is being implied is that governments, through their agencies, cannot really say it is blameless. You can actually settle your way to approval, and that can also be dangerous.
Now, look at it, and this is what I'm emphasizing, that government has done its part, the due process. We've sealed the building up.
And then left it there. We
left it up. Then we have the data. When we seal the place up, is that, oh, there's something wrong in there. Then you come over, let's look at it together.
Okay.
Subject your structure to integrity test. If it fails, you will go back and do the needful. Obtain the right permits. That is it.
Yeah, I hear
now,
you.
The point is this.
But government saw
for example, look at this Sunday. If somebody notices that they are doing or going ahead to construct
they're
that
working
building,
there.
they are working there. What they need to
at an
do
unusual time.
on unusual time.
Yes.
What they need to do is to call the emergency number. That look, oh, you people have sealed this place up.
Well, I'm afraid, sir, let me just speak for the public to the extent that I can. People imagine government is so up and about that you can't do that kind of thing without someone from government noticing.
That was before. That is notion.
It's
not the real thing.
You can't just start working on a Sunday and it's at a pace. When government seals, it has all this red paint all over the place. So you see people working there. Government itself didn't see that. I hear what you're saying, that everybody has a civic responsibility.
Yeah.
Until it came down, then all the agencies of government are now congregating there.
Government has sealed it. People must have confidence in the government. That's what we are saying again.
Right.
People must have confidence in the government. These are the gaps that we are talking about.
But
people must believe in the government they elected in. The government has sealed this thing up. They have marked it. There must be a reason. And when you notice that some people are now back there working. Alert the relevant agency.
I hear you, sir. Maybe
The emails, the data is in public domain.
I hear what you're saying.
You must live in a responsible way.
You now must be a good citizen.
Yes, you must
and
be a good.
you see something, you say something.
You say
That's
something.
what you're
You
saying.
say something.
That's what you're saying.
It's not that when emergency now occur, you now start calling. Let's look at the early warning system very well, and let us use it very well.
Okay, we're gonna have to wait on your Stanley. Did you? Stanley, good morning, Stanley. Stanley in the U.S. Good morning. Did my voice reach the U.S. yet? It's a bit far. Well, I hear what you're saying. Maybe government, there are agencies of government that also need reform. Maybe it's not just SARS. Because Mr. Okay called in from Aba on that particular point, that there's so much more that can be done that isn't being done, but now we have a tragedy. Thank God LASEMA is there to mitigate it.
LASEMA and its stakeholders. It's not only LASEMA.
Yeah, and its stakeholders to mitigate it. But the point that was made by OK in Aba is that these things are almost needless. Abe called in, government noticed something was wrong with this, sealed the place off, left it there. A tragedy happened weeks later. I don't know what to say. Let me just thank you and the sort of services that responded to it. But no doubt this is going to lead to some probes in government. This happened.
We will look at it holistically.
Yes.
But the point is this: we did not leave it just like that.
But you did.
Wait, no. We condone. What we mean when you condone an area off and you seal it.
Yes.
The important thing is that you must respect a constituent authority. Don't go there. That is what it is. Now, when we do that, we will carry out a necessary investigation.
So people that are thinking the government, in its wisdom, that sealed it off because it was unsafe, should have brought it down themselves. You think people are getting ahead of themselves. It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work that way.
Okay.
You can't just go into people's this thing and say that.
When is a danger to the society?
No.
Now 10 people have died. If government
the,
knew it could save 10 people's lives by pulling that thing down, government would have pulled it down.
No. The lacuna in there is that the level it was when it was sealed up, we can still manage a lot of things.
They
raise it up, and the collapse occurred. If they had not raised it up from that level, we will not have collapse.
I get what you're saying. Thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Femi Okeosoyintolu. First of all, it was in the nature of an illegal structure that had been sealed by government. Now they went and put more floors on top.
On it!
Well, we'll wait for the results of the investigation.
Investigation is already on.
Okay, Dr. Dr. Femi Okeosoyintolu, CEO and DG of LASEMA. Thank you for coming on to brief us. That's our program today, completely run out of time. We'll be back tomorrow, God willing. Do everything you can, as I always say, to stay safe. Stars is still out there. Bye-bye for now.